was the worst entrance ever because I actually I came on with a mouth full of beer. So I kind of entered like this.
It does a great spit take though.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah. Hey, Louisville, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I got one quick statement. Interviewed you a long time ago, and you said your big fear about leaving the show was that no one would care about you at Comic-Con. Louisville, do you disagree?
This man remembers too much, you see. Yeah, no, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I've got the dirt. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into some questions. Remember, you guys have an important job. Use your smartphones, tweet, talk about this, hashtag Wizard World and Doctor Who, hashtag Doctor Who. Let's dive in right over here. Please keep the questions nice, simple, tight, and actually make them a question and not a request for birthday songs or anything like that. So, hi.
First, I'd just like to say I'm just so glad to be here. This is like the best experience of my life. And
cool.
And well, obviously, some of the scenes must have been, improv. But are there any like specific ones or favorite times that you did improv?
Improv in Doctor Who with Stephen Moffat. I mean, it's like, he's pretty stringent about what he wants and how he wants it to be. But actually, what was strange is, and it's a really good question. Toward the end of my sort of time on the show, I found myself doing it more and more, and I really liked it, and I actually wish I'd done it a lot more earlier on, but I just didn't really have the confidence to sort of do it that way. And actually, because when you're sort of improvising as the Doctor, it's quite liberating, because I don't know, it can be totally mental. So, yeah, but trying to think in the last one, what was sort of improv. I don't know, I'm really terrible at this. It's sort of like when people go, what's your favourite album? And you go, oh, and then like an hour later you're like, damn, I had a really good answer for that. So I'll get home and I'll be having dinner tonight and I'll be like, oh yeah, of course that was improv. I don't know really, it's just really, like, it's really interesting seeing sort of Karen today, and you realise you sort of instinctually have such an immediate relationship. And I think a lot of that is based on acting together. And basically, I haven't answered the question. But towards
you're improv right now, aren't you?
Yeah, life is an improv. So, but yeah, towards like particularly in my last episode, there was a lot more of that type of thing, which I'll try and remember by the end of this panel.
Well, we'll come back to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Great question.
Hello, Matt. My name is Ashley Rose.
Hello, Ashley Rose.
My question is about your creative writing. What is your favorite genre to write?
Wow, that's a bloody good question. Go Kentucky. Oh God, it sounds really like, look, I love poetry, actually. I love short stories. And I love a guy called Raymond Carver. If any of you want to read some good short stories called No Direction Home, that's a great book. And there's a great book of poetry by an English poet called Caroline Duffy. If any of you have ever been in love with someone that lives a long way away, you must get this book. It's called Rapture. And the first poem is called You, and it's brilliant. It's really great. Yeah, so I quite like those two genres.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And no, he's probably not going to recite his poetry.
Yes.
Just say for any follow-up questions.
But, yeah. I invited you, the thought of you stayed too late in my head. That's the first line in Rapture, which you should get. You should. It's a really wonderful book of poetry.
Very nice.
Hi, Matt. I'm Stephanie.
Hi.
Will you marry me?
Yes. Well, you've got to cook and let me watch the football. They're the two rules.
I think it's legally binding if it's at a Comic-Con, right? Speaking of cooking, there is a photo that your mother tweeted of you cooking and walking up after dinner. Are you actually a good cook?
Well, you know, I cooked a spag bowl that evening, and actually the guy who runs this thing, John, is a very good cook. So I took a few tips off him. I mean, I'm all right. I'm not that good.
You were a good son. That was a very sweet picture.
Yeah, you know, it's my mum, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I am going blind and you are the last doctor that I will ever be able to see, and you really encouraged me in your interviews and seeing you on screen and your upbeat personality, and this was just a recent diagnosis, so you've really gotten me through a really hard time in my life. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your name?
Lena.
Big round of applause.
That's an amazing kind of compliment, you know. Wow, yeah, and amazing courage, so thank you so much. Hey, how are you?
To be part of something that impactful.
I know, I mean, kind of that's what's really amazing about days like this, is you realise, I don't know, like it's quite an overwhelming thing, guys, really, when you sort of come to something like this, and you see, and I think particularly when you come to like a completely different country, and you go, wow, it's really got a presence here, but when you see, I mean, you know, people seem to be really affected by it, and you go, wow, man, you know, it's quite a privilege, and it's quite a sort of overwhelming privilege, but it's definitely a privilege, so it's good. Please, proud to be part of it.
Hi there.
Hi. So I told you I'd be back. I want you to meet this very special baby.
Wait a second. You want to
No! Oh my God! I mean, I would not run with that. No, I'm a major movie, and I annoy so many people in my family with how much I talk about the show. And
Good.
next year is Chandler Owen Law, and he was born November 23rd, 2013, on the 50th anniversary.
So does that make him a scorpion?
It makes him, in my eyes, the next doctor.
Oh yeah. No, but genuinely, is he a scorpion in terms of the star sign?
No,
What is it?
Yes.
Same here, I'm a scorpion. Yes. Great others, so
what are you, 1,500 years now? No. You'll be there before that happens. So can he meet you, please?
yeah, of course.
Alright, guys, this is how things get out of control. So, I love baby, so hello baby. But, no more requests to come upstairs and all that good stuff, okay?
I'll just
Alright. That would be bad publicity, Matt, yeah. Alright, so that's the 21st doctor, I guess, down the road.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt. My name is Rachel.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi. I have a question for you, obviously. Is there something in Doctor Who that you took away from the series that surprised you? Like, you didn't think that that was going to happen? Something personal that you took away from it?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, so many things. I mean, God, it's such a hard show to leave, and because of your friends as well, like Stephen and Karen and Arthur, and I think particularly for me and Karen and Arthur, we had such a, and particularly for us in America, like we really went on a journey over here. We really saw the show change. I mean, you did as well, didn't you? Like interviewing us for 3 or 4 years, and that was such an amazing sort of thing. And then just great, amazing friendships, but also it's that, what you realise when you leave is that kind of Doctor Who is totally unique in the tone of the writing, in the fact that it has Stephen, and for me, Stephen, I love Stephen. I think he's a real genius, and he really pushes the form of the show and the content. And yeah, I it's just, I don't know, it sort of changes your life. A bit like, you know, when you meet people here today, you go, actually, and like, for me, the show really did. It changed, you know, a lot of the way I see the universe, and I became much more interested in a sort of mathematical, scientific view of the universe. I wasn't very interested in the sciences and maths at school. I was like, oh god, boring, kill me now, done with maths. But actually, doing Doctor Who, I read a lot about Einstein and maths and sort of a lot of philosophy and stuff, and yeah, it made me cleverer.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was like a big fan of the show, who was a well-known astrophysicist.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a big nerd, so...
cool.
You're a science, everybody wins.
Nerds win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name's Soleil, and I want to ask you how you felt when you found out who River Song was.
That's a good question.
Wow, that's a really, I remember meeting you earlier today, actually. Well, how did I... Oh, God, annoyed. Like, for God's sake, again, River, again. No, oh, God, I don't know, I was just like... What? Say what? And then the baby explodes? That's how I felt.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Matt. My name's Katie.
Hi.
I would like to know, there's such a large roster of recurring characters in Doctor Who. You had Madame Vestra and River. Is there a similar recurring character or companion that you wish you could have gotten to interact with in your time as the Doctor that you didn't get to?
Oh, yeah. Like, purely on a selfish level, because we're old friends and I'm great friends with her, I wish I got to hang out with Rose a bit. Really close, and so that would have been nice. Oh God, there's so many. Also, like Lindsay Duncan is a really good friend of mine, and she was in, I think she was in The Water of Mars, and that was a good episode. Who else do I really? Oh, I tell you who I thought was really great and gave a great performance was the Prime Minister. She was so good, wasn't she? Yeah, I thought she was really cool.
Harriet Jones.
Harriet, I was just testing you guys. Yeah, as if I just went as Harriet Jones, you know, whatever. Like, I've seen every episode of Doctor Who.
That's gotta be tough, keeping up with the knowledge, the quizzing.
God, and the thing is, you just have to be really honest about it and go, don't know. But I got the part, and then I just ended up watching like loads of Doctor Who for like a month. And I just watched back-to-back Doctor Who from like, I just go, right, let's do some John Pertwee, let's do some whatever. And it was cool. Worst way to spend a week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, Matt, so I've got one that's going to tug on the heartstrings a little bit. What were your personal feelings to having Karen come back for your very last episode?
Only happy and sort of pleased, and I love Karen. Like, she's just the weirdest person in the world. And she's like so pretty, but what's amazing about Karen is that her beauty is just not part of her personality at all. She's so unaware of it, and so like, you know how some people are really beautiful, like, beautiful, and she's really not. She's really funny, and she's really ridiculous, and she, and I thought actually for my Doctor, I thought that was such, I think they have, you know, a very special connection, and I just think, I think the way that companion-doctor relationship was set up is one of the best, for me. I'm biased.
Alright. Good heartstring question.
Hi, Matt, my name's Claire.
Hi.
My friend Maddie is really the whole reason that I am a Whovian in any sort of fandom, and she couldn't make it here today, so I was wondering if I could just get a video of you saying hi, Maddie.
Go for it. Pressure's on. Oh no, iPhone.
Go.
Hi, Maddie. We are here at a convention for llamas. And we wanted to say hello. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Jacob.
Hi.
My question is, did you think bow ties were cool before you became the doctor? Not me, well, the other ones. But
Yes, because it is a categorical truth. I mean, what's interesting about the bow tie is I auditioned in a tweed blazer. I was like, wow, this guy's really old. I'll try and wear my oldest clothes. So I did that. And then we would get into the costumes phase, and at one point it was feeling all like piratey and like sort of a bit too sort of, it just felt a bit too cool. And I was like, the Doctor, like, for me anyway, he's never, he doesn't wake up and go, I'm going to look really good. He just goes, oh, suddenly it's all right. And, you know, cool is uncool. That's, for me, for 11 anyway. And so anyway, we had the blazer, and we had the boots, and we had the thing, and I was like, something's missing. I went, how about a bow tie? And Stephen and Piers and everyone were like, no. No, you look like a geography teacher. And then I put it on, and they were like, actually, it's kind of cool. And then it was Stephen, you know, kind of credit to Stephen, who came up with the line, and he started that whole thing.
Who told you that, like, bow tie sales went up, like, 100% or whatever?
Yeah, straight. I mean, I think that was just a coincidence, so I think it was...
It was just time for bow ties.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Lily.
Hi.
I was just wondering, besides yourself, who's your favorite doctor?
It's really hard because I'm friends with loads of them. So, right, well, I love Patrick Troughton, as many of you probably know. But for me, you know, I first came to Doctor Who through Eccleston and Tennant, and so I love them as well, you know, and I'm sort of torn over them because I love them both. But they're my three. And of course I love Baker, and it's so hard, but I think the doctors that have had the most impact on me are those three.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Tough question, but good question. Hi there. All right. I know you can do it.
I'm 6. Can we sing the theme song?
Yeah, of course we can. Right, I'll start it off. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was the doctor. I'm not anymore.
Hello, my name's Liam.
Hey.
And me and my friends have always talked about what would happen if the Doctor regenerated into a female.
Yeah.
And so we always sort of like talked about that. What do you think?
God help us all. I mean, it would be a force of pure power and pure terror. It would be very interesting. I think, you know, never say never. I think, why not? I think the Doctor can be any entity, any idea.
All right, thank you.
Oh, but can I just ask, what do you and your friends think about that? Do you think he should stay male or be female?
I personally think he should stay male. I think it would be right to like that.
Secretly, all the guys think that. We all go, yeah, it's really good, but don't take him away from us.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Samantha. I was wondering what the most shocking plot twist was for you.
Crikey, Moses. I think they were, you know, they were great. For me, I think in my tenure, I think the best storytelling was in season 5, actually. think it was the clearest, and I think it had the most, I just think it had, you know, I think it was planned with great invention and great clarity, and I loved that whole idea about the Pandorica and the Big Bang and all that sort of stuff. So I think that was what I connected with most. But I think, you know, in terms of twists and revelations, you know, River being Amy's daughter was a bit of a, what the hell? And that was quite weird, and you know, that was quite good. He's good at those big revelations, Stephen. He likes them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Matt, my name is Megan.
Hi.
What is your fondest memory of working with Karen, and what was it like to go from Doctor Who to How to Catch a Monster to then on Broadway with American Psycho?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Which I have to press you with. I didn't do it on Broadway actually. I did it in London. It would be lovely to do it on Broadway. What was the crown question? It was what
was your fondest memory?
My best memory?
Yes.
Oh God, there's so many. I mean, because with me and Karen, we sort of met, and did any of you see that? She tweeted a photo of like us on our first camera test.
Yeah.
Did any of you see that? And I can't tell you how nervous we were. And we look at the photo like, oh my God, what's happening? Everyone's telling us that we're in Doctor Who, and people are meant to like us, and everyone loves David and Catherine, and please don't hate as well. And so just sort of going on that journey was amazing. And we did a screening in New York in a theatre, and we didn't really know how it was going to be. Were you there?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't that an amazing thing? Because we were like, oh my God, America likes Doctor Who. At least New York does.
And then it was a ripple effect after that.
Yeah, and that was a really exciting time, because it's quite exciting to be part of something that's in the middle of emerging, you know. And then going to How to Catch a Monster was interesting, because it was, I mean, you know, obviously Stephen, I was like, Stephen, I'm shaving my head. What? No, you can't, no. He wasn't happy, you know, he hated me for shaving my head, so that was quite weird, but I had a great time making that. And then American Psycho, I sort of thought, well, it was just, I never sang, and it was a musical, so I was like, let's do that. Let me tell you, 3 weeks into rehearsal, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And I was very nervous, and it was, I don't know, I just thought, I think you've got to keep challenging yourself, which is why I left, ultimately, because I was like, you have to do things that make you slightly afraid, which is what playing the Doctor did. The first scene I ever shot was in The Time of Angels, and it's River Song. I don't know if any of you remember. I'm talking to the back of River Song, which is looking up this huge cliff, which is where the Byzantium had crashed. And I just remember being on that beach, and it was raining, and just thinking, what the hell have I done? Like,
Very much.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you. Was that a conscious decision to do something totally different after Doctor Who, like go to How to Catch a Monster and American Psycho, total break?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's as conscious as you can sort of be creatively, you know, but because I try and not overthink things. But you know, my character in How to Catch a Monster is very different from the Doctor, and Patrick Bateman is pretty much as different. Although the weird thing about Bateman is he's an alien. He's an alien in his world, and the Doctor's the same. You know, he's not accepted. He doesn't exist. And actually, Bateman wants to be accepted, and ultimately, the Doctor sort of part of him wants to be understood and accepted, and that's why he envies humans so much. You know, because they, yeah, I don't know.
Mutual respect for suspenders too.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt Smith.
Hi.
My name's Laura, and you saved my life.
Oh, wow. Well, that's.
I was just last year contemplating ending my life, and my drama teacher, she didn't really know, but she knew I was struggling, so she told me to watch Rings of Akatan. And the speech to Mary Galel was what made me decide not to end my life, so I want to thank you so much for that.
Wow. And thank you for not.
And my question would have to be, as someone who has obviously been deeply impacted by Doctor Who, what has impacted you the most about Doctor Who?
That's a good question. Firstly, it's very courageous to stand up and share that with all of us. Thank you. And you know, I'm pleased that you're feeling better, and I'm pleased that I think it's important, isn't it, that art and drama and the things that we engage in can affect us and change us and give us a boost and give us courage. And I mean, I find that with music, it gives me a great sense of courage. And I think ultimately, you know, the great thing about the Doctor is that he's not cynical, and by God, what he has is courage. And so I think that for me is always the thing that I admire about him, and that he's ridiculous. So I think if you're courageous and ridiculous, then you'll be all right. And yeah, I'm pleased it helped you. And, you know, be courageous and ridiculous going forward. You'll be all right.
Thank you so much.
To paraphrase the Doctor, in 2,000 years, he's never met anyone that's not important, and all of you should keep that in mind. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly.
Hi. So, I'm a professional historian, and so I really love the history episodes, and I catch historical errors, by the way.
Of course.
So, if you're ever on the phone,
No, really?
so if you're ever on the phone with Stephen Moffat, just be like, hey, put in some more history episodes. But my question is really about the costuming, because I read somewhere that David Tennant, when he, got cast as the Doctor, he said, "Can I wear a really long coat?"
Yes.
And there's so many iconic costume items. Do you guys get to help? This kind of elaborates on what you said about the bow tie.
Yeah.
Do you guys really get to pick that, or is that
yeah.
something that's done for you?
Yeah, no. You pick, and then you sort of go engage with a team of people who go, but the thing is, it's got to be. The thing is, the reason Stephen's really clever is he says things like, the thing about the Doctor's costume is, this is his big thing, and this is why I think Stephen gets a show. He says, it has to be something children can draw. And that was his only note. It was like, just as long as kids can draw it, I don't care. As long as they can pick things and draw things. And so you've got a bow tie, and with David you've got like stripes, and I think that's really important. And yeah, but you absolutely get a say, and and I always wanted it to keep evolving, which is why it kept sort of changing. I made one mistake. Green coat. Didn't work. Badly tailored, it just didn't work. But it's because I don't know, I sort of, yeah. And secretly, I always loved the tweed, really.
Thank you.
Hi. My name is Grayson Peoples. I'm the one that gave you the TARDIS bow tie.
Cool.
And I was wondering can I be your camp companion?
Yeah, we can just travel around like the literal world. You do know I'm not in the show anymore. But I'm a fun friend, So, absolutely.
And your parents or guardian might have issue with you just running off.
Yeah. Going on a road trip. I've just been on a road trip actually with my best friend. I thought Texas is cool, man. I loved Texas.
Yeah.
And the people are really nice. I was really impressed. And
I saw you traveling around with a football as well.
Yeah, today I got football from a nice fan, and yeah, I've been playing with that today, so thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, you can be my companion.
Yes.
It's officially granted, I guess. Yeah.
And additionally, I was wondering if you were going to return to Doctor Who somehow, or if you were going to do something in TV or the big screen.
There is talk about a voice cameo in the new season.
Is there? I haven't heard anything about that. I would always return to Doctor. Listen, even if I'm 100, then I'll wheel myself out. Yeah, I'll always return whenever there's an anniversary. But I can come back, I will.
We've got a trooper right here.
Yeah.
Of fans. Hi.
Yeah, I met these guys 3 times today, Fat Boys. Hey.
Do you have a question?
What's your favorite alien in Doctor Who?
Weeping Angel, categorically.
Yeah.
What's your favorite alien?
Cool.
I think Vashtorata or Weeping Angel.
Yeah, two very strong ones. Two very good ones.
They clearly disagree with you.
Yeah. Moffat, you see? Clever.
Hi there.
Hey, Matt. My name's Sean.
Hey.
I don't have a question for you. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the 3 years that you dedicated to the show.
Thank you.
Becoming this icon that we just love and adore, that just to teach us that imagination doesn't end when you're a child, that fantasy and reality aren't separate.
Yeah.
And just personally, I can 100% say that Dr. Who really did influence into my life. I mean, I completely changed my career path.
Wow.
Because
Cool.
Are you trying to be a Time Lord? Because I don't know if there's a graduate program for that.
If there's an application to be Time Lord, sign me up.
Yeah,
I am not qualified whatsoever.
I agree. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for watching.
Yeah.
What made you want to be an actor?
Do you know what? I used to play football and I had a really good teacher. I was lucky. The power of teaching is incredible. Like, I had someone that took a risk on me and took a real chance. And he kept putting me in these plays and I just kept not turning up. So I thought it was naff. I'm not acting, that's for girls. Like, what? I play football, I'm a sportsman, that's what I do. And then he rang my mum and was like, look, you should be an actor. And he cast me in a play called 12 Angry Men at school. And I did that play, and then I was like, oh, I quite like this. And then I joined a thing called the National Youth Theatre, and I don't know, I just think, and actually I sort of look back on my life when I was a kid, and I loved film, and I had quite a weird imagination. And I used to create like loads of booby traps, and just, I was quite a strange child. Strange is good as well. If you're a child and you feel strange, don't worry, it's going to work out all right. Strange is cool. Strange is actually the coolest thing. And and so I just sort of, I quite liked, you know, messing around in my imagination. It's cool.
Cool. Good question. Thank you.
Good question.
I have something else to say.
Go ahead.
I am also a very strange child.
Good. That's alright, man. That's really, listen, power to you, my friend. Keep being strange and you'll be alright.
We are a room full of strange children.
Yeah.
Why do you like badgers so much?
But I mean, it's a good question, but it's frankly a silly question. What is not to like about the badger? It's a classic. It's classically, it's sort of a slightly aggressive, friendly, strange woodland animal. The llama, another winner, another complete winner of animal. Because the thing about llamas are, they're there, and they're like, sort of standing there, being a llama, and then the whole time they're going, I'm a llama. I think I'm a llama. I'm definitely a llama. I am a llama. I just think they're kind of, I don't know, I just like badgers. I have no idea why.
I mean, I don't want to disagree, but may I submit?
Yeah.
Platypus.
Oh, classic. The platypus.
Duck-billed mammal.
Yeah, I know. The puffin. What a bird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Emu. I think.
Yeah.
You all have great animal ideas, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's,
Deep philosophical questions.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and my question is, what was your, what was like, what was your experience of Doctor Who?
What was my favourite or my strangest?
Just what was his experience of Doctor Who?
Oh.
Yeah, what was his
Oh, right, like global, big picture experience.
Oh gosh, my experience of Doctor Who was, well, the thing is, the truth of the matter is that you wake up every day and you just work really, really, really hard. Like, I rang Jenna yesterday to catch up. I'm like, I left a really horrible message, being like, yeah, hi, it's me, I know you're cheating on me, hope it's going really well. I'm sure he's really nice. Great, I hope it's going good. But joking obviously. So, no, I am. And my experience was just one of really hard work, learning loads of lines, but going on sort of adventures in your imagination and your life that are totally incomparable and totally unique. Like things like this. What the hell is happening? Like, it's a bizarre thing. So it's it was just, it was groovy, man. It was a groovy ride.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi.
I saw Karen's panel last night, and I asked her who was her favorite doctor, and she said the 11th Doctor.
Cool.
So, who's your favorite companion?
Easy question for her, and you just set this poor man up.
She answered as well. She set me up with "You're the best." But Karen, well, listen. I love them both more than each other. This is the truth. It's very difficult because you know, Clara and Amy and Jenna and Karen respectively hold very dear places in my heart. So yeah, I love them both equally more than each other. But obviously, I think for 11, I think he met Amelia young, and I think that had a big impact on him. But I love them both equally more than each other. Rory's way down the list. Listen, Rory's either dying or getting on the doctor's list. I love Rory. I do not love Rory. Just big, stupid face Rory. And Arthur's just lovely and sort of stupid as well. So, I love them all. It's but I do think for me, Karen and Arthur, we shared a real sort of bizarre, moment in our lives, which was incomparable, really.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and before I ask you a question, I just want to give a shout out to my dad. He knows just about nothing about Doctor Who, and he has driven me 10 hours to get here. And he's actually waited in this room for 6 hours to save me a seat. And my question was, each Doctor, when they regenerate, they get a new personality. They have a clean slate, and they can pick who they want to be. Who do you want to see Peter Capaldi portrayed as? Do you want to see him like serious or funny?
Oh, gosh, I mean, I would never presume. Peter's such a consummate, brilliant, inventive actor. I would never presume to sort of understand where he's going to take it. I just know he'll do something really definitive, and he'll be bold, and he'll be really different. And I think that's exactly what the show needs. You know, I think partly that was why it was the right time for me to go. You know, because it needs that sort of regeneration, and I think we're in really good hands. Really good hands. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful moment.
When you walk in, he's a cool guy. You know, he's a cool dude.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Matt. My best friend and I have always talked about how our relationship is kind of like 11 and 80s. And so every time she's really upset about something, I send her the monologue that you say during the Vincent and the Doctor episode about the good things and bad things.
Yeah, yeah.
So
there are good things and there are bad things. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's one of my favorites. But I was wondering, what's your favorite monologue that you've had to say?
Oh, God, do you know what it is? I think it has to be just because it has to be when I'm talking to all the spaceships. Because, you know, looking back on it, I was so, and there was a real, like, I think probably some of my best work was in that first season because I was actually taking real risks, and that was a real moment. That was really me going, I don't really understand this pop, I'm just going to have a right old go at it. And I think that just, I don't know, I just think it's a really well-written speech. But, I mean, Stephen is great at giving you right big barnstorming speeches, so, but I think that's probably my favourite.
Did you get through the final monologue and the Christmas episode in one take, or was that a hard one to push through?
It's very interesting, that Christmas episode. You know, and particularly the regeneration, like, we shot so many versions of that. And, to be really honest, you know, I think it's a great episode, and I think we did really good work in it, but I think perhaps of what we shot and what was cut, I would have chose differently. And we shot much more brutal, emotional, troubling, you know, takes and stories in there, and yeah, you know, so actually the take that is used isn't, I don't know, it was a sort of interesting one for me, but then it's one of those things, you know, when you're watching your own death, you're never really gonna, and that's what you have to remember as well, and, you know, again, Stephen's really clever, like, the actor knows he's going, so the actor's like, oh my god, I'm going, I'm gonna give my, but the character's going, I'm still living. He's not dying, the character's not dying. He's fine, he knows he's coming back, he knows he's getting better, he knows he's not going to be in pain anymore, he knows he's not going to be in trouble anymore, he knows he's got a new start, and I think that's important to remember, somehow.
Right. Let's go back to the marriage proposal thing really quick. I just want to let you know I'm a fabulous cook.
Sure. Okay.
But no, my question, I know Stephen has hinted at potentially bringing River back to pair with Peter Capaldi, and I was wondering how you felt about that.
I feel really annoyed about that.
That's your girl.
Oh no, I keep saying to just anyone but River, Stephen, like anyone but River. No, look, it's Doctor Who, I don't own it, it's not, I have to let it go and just go, I think they'd be really good together. And it's the Doctor, it's not me, it's the Doctor. So for the Doctor, I think for the fan, and I think for the Doctor, then it's probably a good thing. But don't do it, Stephen, if you're watching this on some sort of YouTube repeat.
Don't do it, Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Heather. I was wondering, looking back at the beginning of season 5 and comparing it to what the Doctor is like at the end of season 7, there's an obvious change and growth in the character. It's very different. Can you shed some light on the transformation of his character and the processes you went through to change that as an actor?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a really good question. And thank you, A, for noticing that there was a bit of difference. I was really keen that there should be. Yeah, well, you know, I think the Doctor, or at least my Doctor, sort of started out like a newborn lamb going, I've got limbs, and I don't really understand what they are. And, you know, I think, for me, the really interesting major character point about the Doctor is that if you look at the blood on his hands over the years, I mean, he's killed whole civilizations, empires, you know, beyond empires. He's lost, he's killed many, many innocent people, you know, by the greater good. And I think ultimately which is why I think he's so sort of weird and silly and blah, because if he wasn't like that, then he'd end up, you know, sitting in a dark room and going, what have I done? And so I think that sort of, that burden and living with that burden has to affect any man, and seeing that snap and break, and I think the loss of Amy really screwed him up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hard to pick up on. You're brilliant.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Hello, sweetie.
Hello.
My question is about Tasha Lem. In your opinion, Lem being Mel backwards, do you think that it's insinuated that that is River in some form or another?
Tasha Lem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, I mean, because what? Because it's because of the.
Well, she shares a lot of her qualities, and there's.
She does share a lot of her qualities. I think River is. No, because I think that the Doctor. I think he's so much. I think he actually loves River. in a way that he sort of doesn't love anyone else. Really. Yeah, I mean, River's a space vixen, you know. She's just some crazy woman that runs a church. I mean, no, I don't think they're connected. I don't. But I do think that the Doctor is clearly attracted to strong space vixens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sweetie.
Hello, Dom.
My name is Phoebe, and I don't know if this is pushing the limit of getting too wild and crazy, but would you do the drunk giraffe dance?
Alright, we are running out of time, so we only have time for just a couple more questions, so I'm gonna get through them. Yes, sir? Oh, man, sorry. Hey. Sorry.
It's okay. My question is about Nightmare in Silver. Matt, you played, I guess, the cyber thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Clever, right? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yes. And also yourself as the Doctor. I was wondering, how did you approach that? It was excellent.
Thank you very much. Well, I mean, again, I was always sort of really interested, and I think how we carried on my tenure as the Doctor, it probably would have explored, you know, him getting worse and worse and struggling more and more and becoming ultimately like more and more sort of villainous somehow. Not villainous, but struggling with the sort of the weight of responsibility that he's under in the whole world, the Doctor. Wouldn't he be the best because he's the cleverest, he's the sharpest? I mean, he'd be a total, utter mastermind. And he'd be mean and savage and sort of, you know, ridiculous as well. So I sort of just was like, make him weird and bad.
Cool, thank you. Hi. Yep, over here.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Duncan, and I wanted to know, what was your favorite season of Doctor Who to act in?
That's a good question. Do you know what was really fun? And it was really early, but it's because they built us an actual slide. In the beast below, we slide down into some sort of goop. And we land in like all this cabbage and stuff. Actually, I say it was really fun. It was fun like the first 2 times, and then like take 23. You're like, oh god, it's really cold in the goop. But that was fun. I liked all the, I used to like all the bangs and explosions, and because they do so much of the acting for you. But what I really loved is, I used to love, because I thought when you see him at his most alien, is when he's in sort of domestic situations. So I quite liked all that stuff with Craig Owens.
Cool. Okay, this is, I think, gonna be last question, so I have faith in you.
What was your favorite TARDIS interior? The
that's
first
a
one
really,
that you generated it, or the next one after that, or the new modern one?
That's a good question, isn't it? God, I'm going to be really controversial here, but I like my first one. I could sort of get around it a bit more, and I just felt it was a bit like, just acting, I could be much more expressive in it, and I used to like the rhythm of going, and in the latter one I felt it was slightly more mechanical, which is a good thing for the show, and a good thing for the sort of the heritage of the show, and honouring what the TARDIS is, and the machineness of it. But yeah, for me it was my first one. I thought Chris and David was really cool as well.
Yeah. I did skip over this person, so yes, real quick, what's your question?
Hi, Matt.
Howdy.
If you could be any doctor except the 11th Doctor, what doctor would it be?
Oh God, probably Tom Baker. Yeah, well, I'd say somewhere between Baker or Chalmers, but I don't know. Baker or Chalmers, there is. We've decided. Louisville has decided it's Baker.
All right, and finally, I know there's a lot of sonic screwdrivers out there, so what is the proper sonic screwdriver strategy or gesture? How does one do it?
For me? Well, the thing is, with mine, these are, you know, there's a little button, isn't there? But mine was weighted, so I would always go, and it was never meant to do this, but I quite liked that guy Riff in the Jets, and he used to have a penknife, and he used to like flip it open, so that's where all of that came from, like it was a knife. So I think it's about treating it like it's a, whoa, and then yeah, I don't know. But yeah, of course, please.
We love you, Matt!
There you go.
Please put your hearts, both of them, into a round of applause for Mr. Matt Smith.
I know some of you have travelled like miles and miles, and you know, the fact you turn up to these things is a very strange and humbling experience. So thank you for turning up and coming. It means a lot.